I'm Kristen Thompson here in the I Live to Create design studio, getting ready to play with my new obsession, the Tulip One-Step Spray Dye Kit. Now before I get started, I like to make sure that I'm working on a flat covered surface and that I'm wearing something that I don't mind getting dye on because the dye is permanent. It will not come out. So when I'm getting ready to go, I'm going to grab my bottle here. I'm going to make sure that I fill it to the line with warm to hot water. I'm going to unlock my mechanism here just by pushing it with my finger, and it slides down. It's that easy. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and shake it for about a minute. You can go a little bit more, but I wouldn't go any less than a minute because you really want to make sure that the dye is fully dissolved. The best thing about our one steps is you don't need to pre-soak your fabric in soda ash. Just add water, shake it, and begin. So now that my dye is fully dissolved, I'm gonna double check and do a little test spray. You can do it on a piece of paper towel like I have here, or you can do it on some newspaper or a scrap piece of fabric. You just wanna make sure that your dye is dissolved and you don't see any chunks coming out. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways that you can actually use our spray nozzle. You can do a full-on spray, like I was doing when I was practicing, and it gives you a really light mist. Or you can do a really long, slow squeeze, just like this, and you kind of get these drizzles, just like that. Or you can do real short, quick little sprays like this. So it's kind of in the middle between our drizzle and our mist. What I love about our one-step spray dye kit is that you can use it on wet or dry fabric. With our traditional, you really want to make sure that your fabric is always damp so that it helps our dye to absorb inside. But with this one, because it has a lovely spray nozzle, you can just kind of go to town. So I have my fabric here and it's dry and pre-washed, and I'm going to go ahead and put some tape down here, and I'm just going to spray right over it. And you can put a little bit more, a little bit less. You can gradiate it if you want, and then I'm just going to peel it off like that. And it gives you a really nice clean line. And you wouldn't be able to do that with our traditional one. You can also use it with some lace. So I just went ahead and threw some lace on top of this piece of fabric, and I'm just going to spray right on top of it. Now with this one, I do want to go a little bit heavier, and it kind of really does depend on how much you want the lace to show, the design of the lace. I kind of really want it to show, so I'm kind of going to go over it, and then I'm just going to lift it up. Beautiful. With our traditional one-step dye, you can get a crumple technique, which means you really want to make sure that your fabric is wet and you squeeze it together in a little ball. For a little bit more of a crisp look, this is what you really want the spray dye for. Use it on some dry fabric, crumple it up here in a ball, just like you would with your traditional technique. Now it's all crumpled, just spray right over it. And then you're going to want to open it up, and you just see how crisp it is, and it really helps that vibrant color to just pop out at you. But my absolute favorite technique to use with this spray bottle is the ombre technique. So I'm going to grab my fabric. With this technique though, you really do want to make sure that your fabric is wet, because that's really going to help you get that really pretty gradation look. So here's my fabric. It's wet. And I'm going to go ahead and start at one end with my bottle, kind of start off my fabric and start working my way up. And as I work my way up, a little tip is if you want to help lighten the color, you can also use a spray bottle of water. And you're going to come back and spray over. And this just really honestly helps smooth it out. So if you want a smoother look. In the past, we've used brushes. What I love about this is you don't have to use a brush. You just use your two spray bottles, and you can come back in and punch in some more of that gorgeous color. And I really like to work from one end to the other. So notice I didn't come in and just start spraying. You always want to keep coming in from the side that you started on, and it really helps just fade that color in. Well, those are just a few of my favorite techniques that I like to use with the Tulip One-Step Spray Dye Kit. Let's see what you got. Get out there, create it, have some fun. And remember, it's fast, easy, and gives you colorful creativity. The Tulip One Step Spray Dye Kit.